Hold on, hold
Happy
on,
hol-
hold on, hold on. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere we go. La di da di da di di.
Don't even know the
I
lyrics.
don't even know the words,
Don't even know the
but da
lyrics.
di.
How you gonna tell me to hold on? Didn't
I
even tell me. Didn't even tell me you were gonna do that. And don't know the
I only know
lyrics.
the first part. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I don't even know if it's everywhere we go, but I know that first part.
Happy holidays and welcome to Double M Live. We're back. Season 3 is coming to an end. But we still here. Episode 98.
Whew.
We happy to see y'all. We happy to be with y'all. Hopefully you guys are in the holiday mood, the holiday spirit. If not, hopefully you're getting there. You still got a few days. I see you got a little vino on you.
I'm in
You
the
on
holiday spirit.
you on vacation. Vacation
I'm
Mike.
on vacation. I got the hat on. I got a little drink here. It's the holiday season.
It's the
Holiday
holiday
season.
it's the holiday season for sure. Ooh, Mike, nice. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy 2021.
Yeah, very true indeed.
Uh,
21, 21's been wild. It's been has its ups and downs. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but all in all, we blessed to still be here. But the year is coming to an end. We fastly approaching the end of another year.
Crazy, man. Blessed to still be here. We pray for the ones who have transitioned from our lives,
Mhm.
and we keep their spirits and their stories and their legacies with us as we continue on to 2022. I can't even believe it, man. How fast this year has flown by. How season 3 has flown by. We've had some amazing, amazing guests this year. From our brother Jamal to Asherah Blakely to Cedric Maxwell to Kwanye Lunis,
Josue,
Josue,
the
the
guy Tom
Girlfriend's
E.
Guide
Curran,
podcast, Tommy Curran,
Kyle Draper.
Kyle Draper, man. We're talking about some heavy, heavy hitters.
We lost you, Marv. We also had Soulful Sheet join us as well. Candy, I don't know what happened to this dude, Marv. He trying to come back through with he's getting his volume and whatnot situated. But we've had a lot of great guests. Just to continue what Marv's saying, I see Sam here in the building. What's going on, EP? We back. It's been a little bit. Marv's getting his mic and everything situated and fixed back up, but
Nah, can't hear me.
back now though.
Oh,
You're
they
back now
always
though.
they always playing with me, man.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. But you back in the building now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man, we've had some amazing guests in season 3. Blessed to have them and excited for season 4 on who we're gonna have next.
Yeah, stay tuned for sure,
That's a
cause
that's a weird way to do 4, bro.
it's four fingers, dog.
That's a man watches Spider-Man one time and it starts making difference.
It's four fingers, bro. Come on. But yeah, we back. It's been a little bit, What people gotta understand, life got a lot of stuff going on, twists and turns, different going on things going on. So it does sometimes get in the way of getting double M popping. But like our good friend DJ Wise, our good friend Kenzie would say, we're not done yet.
No, we're not done yet, bro.
Um,
98 episodes. You can't shut us down.
Stu Sam stupid. My germs. Yeah. Episode 98. So we here, bro. And it's the Christmas edition. Or let me not say that. I'm sorry, because Christmas is not the only
Holiday edition.
holiday celebrated. You got Christmas, you got Hanukkah around these times, you got Kwanzaa around these times. So it's the holiday edition, Christmas season, holiday season, whatever you want to call it, whatever you celebrate. 'Tis the season in general. So we here holding it down for Double M. And we're gonna keep it popping for usual. Like we usually say, wherever you're tuned in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, for sure, hit that share button because you want to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Double M is live right now, and we want you to tune in and join the conversation. That's what we do.
Merry Christmas to you, my guy Sam. Christmas album coming soon, of course. You know, Volume 4. Be on the lookout for that with the fellas. Mike Nice, man, you know, in the spirit of the holidays, in the spirit of Christmas, you know, let's go down memory lane.
Mm.
Let's go down memory lane. Let's talk about, you know, when you think of this time of year, what sticks out to you? What's a memory that sticks out to you that that you'll always cherish and you'll be like, ah, this is holiday, this my holiday spirit, or this is Christmas to me.
Um, well, I know we're gonna talk about this later on in the show for sure, but I always got my favorite Christmas movies that like I gotta watch. It's Christmas time. I gotta watch. I can't miss these movies. I must watch them every Christmas. And that's a tradition I continuously have. A tradition that for me will never go away, whether it's me by myself, whether it's me with my family in the future, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna keep that tradition alive. When I have children, they're gonna sit down and watch these few Christmas movies with me again. You know, back in the day, I thought I had the VHS versions, so I'm gonna have to find a VCR and pop those bad boys in.
Nah, bro.
Then
They're probably on streaming services now.
now, yes, I'm saying now they're probably on streaming services, so I'm not just stuck to trying to find a VCR and play these movies. So these certain movies that again we're gonna get into for sure are definitely a part of my tradition. But I got one memory for sure that I always love to share and tell. Um, Santa Claus, you know, I was younger, believing in Santa Claus and whatnot. Forgive me for any children watching, if there's children watching, but yeah, cool. Believing in Santa Claus was one thing that was wild to me. Oh, Santa Claus is going to drop the presents off in the living room underneath the tree. Santa Claus is going to be there. So one year, my older brother and I don't know if he knew.
That was gonna be my question before you even started. How much
I don't.
older? How much older is your brother than
So
you?
my brother is 7 years older than me.
Okay, he didn't.
Um,
He knew.
he probably knew, but I don't know if he knew. I hope he. I don't
Like
know.
your older brother was 7 years older than you.
He probably knew. But look, knowing that he had the younger brother, he's probably trying to keep the tradition alive. So I remember one year we were like, "Yo, we're gonna hide out in the living room. Like we were gonna hide under the couch, sleep. Well, not sleep on the couch. We're gonna hide under the couch in the living room and watch to see when Santa comes in to drop off the presents." So we got the couch in the living room and it was high enough where we can go under it and lay under it. So we both go under the couch and like, all right, we staying here all night. We're gonna see Santa Claus come in, drop these presents off. We're gonna catch him. Man, it didn't last about 10, 15 minutes. We both knocked out under that. Well, I know I knocked out under the couch. And I'm there, passed out, sleeping, wake up in the morning, mad presents there. And I get up. I'm like, oh, what? I fell asleep. I'm pissed. I'm like, y'all fell asleep. I missed Santa Claus dropping off the presents. My whole family's like, the hag, boy, you fell asleep. That's your fault. You fell asleep. You fell asleep. So that's one fun memory I'll always remember and always look back. It was a fun time with my family, my older brother, something we tried to do around the Christmas time.
So, at what age did you realize Santa wasn't real?
That's a good question. I feel like it wasn't like
Jake,
there
Jake.
go, there you go now. Appreciate you, bro. I don't know. I feel like it didn't take it. I was still young when I figured out, like, oh, okay, it's just my mom and dad dropping these damn presents off. And you know, some kids probably get heartbroken. I don't think I was heartbroken. I probably was like, oh, well, whatever. Make sure the presents is there in the morning and
Right.
keep it pushing. Like, some kids, oh, there's no Santa. Oh, no, nah, that was not me. I was probably like, yeah, cool. All right. Thanks for the presents. And
My, my,
kept it going.
my parents never even tried to give me the illusion that Santa was real. I never even had a chance to believe in Santa. It was, all right, what do you want for Christmas? This is what we're doing. I bought this. I'm getting you this. And plus I never had a chimney. So the illusion
Me
of
neither.
the illusion of some dude coming, I was like, well, Santa just don't come to the hood because I don't got no chimney and I don't know what's about to what's about to happen here. My mom's just gonna do it. But Jay has come out and said that he knew, Mike. He knew that Santa wasn't real. He just had to make it special for you.
Well, again, like I said, I appreciate him keeping the holiday spirit alive and making me believe, you know, it worked. In that time period, it definitely worked because I definitely was mad. I fell asleep and I missed Santa Claus coming through, but it is what it is. Appreciate you, big bro.
And trying to think if I have any like special memories for Christmas. With me and my family, man, we celebrate mainly on the 24th, Christmas Eve. So on Christmas Eve, that's when we're at church together. After we get out of church, it's midnight. So then it becomes Christmas, and then we eat well, and really
We lost you, bro. Yo, this thing be playing more bad. I don't
in
get
my
it.
back.
You're back
In my
now.
I don't know why it keeps doing that. But yeah, eat well together after church and share gifts. But 2 years ago, for Christmas, which was a very special Christmas, I was able to go back to the motherlands. I was able to go to Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, to celebrate Christmas and New Year's with family that I haven't seen in over 10 years. And that was a very, very special Christmas. One, due to the fact that I got to see family and got to be in warm weather and enjoy my culture. But another thing is, it was right before the pandemic. As soon as I came back, the pandemic started. So just another special thing that I was able to, go see family, go live and find out my culture and Christmas and stuff right before essentially the world shut down, and not knowing that that would happen. So that will always be a part of my Christmas.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what's crazy? Like Christmas, and we're talking Christmas of what 2019. You're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Christmas of 2019, and then that New Year's was turned to
and going to
2020.
2021. Um, who would have thought that like the world was gonna be flipped the hell upside down
Oh,
coming out of the holiday season, New Year's? Who would have thought like being around fam? Because literally, I don't know about you or whoever's tuned in right now, but that holiday season was some of the last time I was really able to be around a lot of my family who got together for Christmas dinner or whatnot. Like it hasn't been the same since that Christmas.
you
I
know
definitely
what? You know what's the last event I remember being around people? Was our live event. We did our live season 2 premiere
in
at this
2020 in
at the Sound
January,
Lab.
right around your
Yeah,
birthday. Yep,
yep, at the Sound Lab.
that is
And that
true.
was that was the last major event that we did. When I back,
Got you again. 20, yeah, the Double M season 2 premiere show at the Sound Lab, huge event. We had a lot of people come out. Um, that is one of the last huge gatherings I remember that was pre-pandemic, you know, there was no I don't remember any real COVID talk at all. Like maybe there was some conversations of, oh, there might be a virus around, but like I don't remember any type of conversation about COVID um at that time when we were doing our live show. I don't know what's going on with Marv right now, but yeah, that event. And then we had that event in January of 2020. Um Celebrated Double M, celebrated Marv's birthday. And then as the months went on,
Mic
just
check.
bam, back. You're back, Brave.
Jeez. Yeah, that was the last event that I remember us having. And then, we was ready to build off of season 2. We just had the live show, and boom, the world a couple weeks later started to go upside down.
Legit, legit flip upside down, and things were never the same, and still haven't been the same. But like I said, or we said, in the beginning of the show, we still blessed to be here, blessed to have a lot of loved ones and friends, whatnot. But we also pay homage to the people that are no longer with us as we go through another year. But if you tuned in right now, please don't be shy. Share some of your favorite Christmas or holiday memories with us. You know, funny, happy, whatever, something that will always stick out and stand out to you. Drop those bad boys in the chat. We want to read them. We want to laugh. We want to. I know I got my big brother in here. If you remember, your memory's clearly better than mine because you're older. So if you got something, I think another, I could be wrong. Maybe you could correct me. But I remember one year, I feel like I wanted a PlayStation bad. I wanted a PlayStation, either one or PlayStation 2. I don't remember which one was bad. I wanted it bad, and I did not get it. And I'm opening up presents, and I'm like, all right, this is nice, cool. Let me get to the next one. And I'm just opening up presents, and I did not get that PlayStation. And I was definitely pissed. I was
Was it like
pissed.
PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3?
It might have been the one. I don't remember. I don't remember what it. PlayStation 1 or 2. I don't remember which one, but I wanted it bad, and I wanted my parents to get it for me, or Santa Claus, whatever I was believing, and I didn't get it, and I was heartbroken. Heartbroken, but that probably happens to a lot of people on Christmas. They want something so bad, and they don't get it. That's nothing new.
Right. And now these reactions get videotaped and get put online.
Yep,
I
yep,
remember
yep.
you was showing me the the video of the little boy who
That
got books.
video is hilarious. Books for Christmas?
This
What
kid
the
was
heck is this?
kid was pissed.
Yo,
Pissed to get books for Christmas.
little boy stood up and told his parents, I don't want books. I want toys. I don't get books for Christmas. Yo, that video, I got to find that video. That video is hilarious. Oh my goodness. I love that video all the time. I got to find that and watch that.
Do kids even want toys for Christmas anymore?
Nah, kids want cell phones and tablets, bro.
Tablets.
Toys. Kids don't sit in their room and play with action figures the way we used to, bro. Tell you, I get toys for Christmas, and I will go in my room, bro. I'll just get toys in general, new toys, and I'll go in my room. There's no TV on, no music, no nothing.
Bro.
You just make a whole fantasy world.
Bro.
Whole fantasy world with your toy. I had Batman, Superman. I make a whole fantasy world with your toys, bro.
The MCU had nothing on the storylines I had with these toys. The relationships I built with these characters with one arm, a broken head, and just created this world. No. And some of them were stuffed animals, some of them were action figures. So I created a whole. That's my imagination. I'm telling you, Kevin Feige, none of them. They had nothing on me.
The way Batman would have to swing from my bed to get over there to save somebody that's locked up in jail or something. The way Superman had to fly across my room, like, yo, crazy. I see some stories coming in the chat here. Let's go. Let's see some. Sam says, best Christmas ever. Brother walked in with a brand new Nintendo 64 when it just came out. Dude walked up the stairs holding the box, and he lost his damn mind. Jeez, Nintendo 64. I remember when I was hot when that came out.
Oh, man. Nintendo 64, I've had great memories.
I remember playing the Christmas present video games all day in the days before memory cards. Yeah. You got a new game for Christmas back in the day with no memory cards. And yo, you better play that game from morning
You
to
have to
night.
you have to beat it.
You
You have
can't
to
turn your
beat it.
PlayStation off for it's over for you.
Nope. And you know that pissed the parents off.
Oh, yo,
Yeah.
you know how many
That's
times I got in trouble for keeping my PlayStation on
the
overnight?
the fan be snitching too. The PlayStation 2, they walk in the door, it's dark. All you hear,
With the little green light on, something
yo.
like that.
I used to
Yo,
cover the green light with the game
I
to
tried
like
that.
cover the light,
I think my
but
parents figured that out.
the fan snitches, dog.
Yo, yeah, I used to definitely try to keep my PlayStation on overnight because I mean, eventually I got to go to sleep. I'm tired, but I know once I wake up that morning,
Yeah,
I'm right back to it.
right. Because Christmas break was the only time really for me where I could really play video games as much as I wanted to with no repercussions or anything like that. I remember the Spider-Man game that I got. There
Oh,
was no memory card. I didn't have no.
yep.
You know how hard it was to explain to my parents I needed a memory card to play a game. Oh my god! So
You want a
that's
controller, a system, a game, and now you want me to buy this $20 memory card too?
yeah. It was memory card wasn't happening. So
Yeah.
you legit had to find a way. And if the game shut off, the game shut off. You had to start all over again. And if you had little siblings, oh my god, they accidentally kicked something. You think I treated it like it was the end of the world. The end of the world. Like, why would you do this to me? Why
Yeah.
would you shut off my game? You know what this meant to me?
I,
Ah,
d- I definitely wasn't allowed to play Big Bro's video games back in the day. He wouldn't let me, bro. He wouldn't let me until I got older, and
yeah,
then we
bro.
started playing
Look,
them together.
you can't have little siblings touch the games, bro.
I say you don't trust them.
You
You don't
can't.
trust them. See, it's crazy because you saying that because you the big bro, and I understand what it's like because I'm the little bro. So I know, I
You
know what it's
can't.
like.
The devastation and like you couldn't play sports games. Oh my goodness. I tried again. I play franchise mode. So I probably killed life off of my PlayStation. NBA Live and all those games.
Yeah, those games, video games back in the day, man. I mean, you play them now and they still cool to play, but as a kid, video games, and action figures, bro. Video games and action figures.
There you go, Jay. Don't let them touch your games, bro. Get your own game.
Yeah, I
Get your little
finally got
Nintendo,
mine. I didn't need to play this anymore, but
get your little Nintendo Wii or something.
you know, the little brothers in us still got to be like, well, let me see what the big brothers playing, and
Yeah.
still try to go see what they're playing and see what they're doing.
Know what I used to do with my little sister? She would want to play video games with me. That's my little sis. I'll let her play with me. So what I do, I act like she was playing with me. But the control, so we had two controllers. I just made sure that one of the controllers wasn't fully plugged in, and I'd be playing the CPU. And she thought she was balling or
I don't
whatever
know.
game we were playing. And I'm just like, yo, you're going, yo, you're going off. It would be SmackDown versus Raw or something. I'm playing the CPU the whole time. She thinks she's beating my ass. It's not happening.
I don't know if my brother ever fooled me like that because I think I caught on real quick. I don't know. Maybe he did. I don't know, but I don't remember those for sure. But yeah, video games back in the day. Man, no memory cards. That was definitely a time period with no memory cards.
But
If you had,
when you did, he did do that. Yeah, Jay,
yeah, I
that's
don't
that
remember.
big brother trick. That's that big brother trick.
I don't
You
remember
gotta
that.
act like they're playing, but they're not really. So the little brother feels good, or the little sister, they feel good about themselves. They're like, yo, I'm actually playing this game. And you just let them be.
Terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible. I never had anybody to do that to, but I probably did that to my little cousin, a couple times. But it's too
Yeah,
sick.
chill out.
Yo, let's change the topic, bro. I can't. I'm not gonna take this loser talk.
One last
anymore.
thing though. The power you felt when you did get a memory card.
Yo,
Yo,
you have a
life
memory card,
changing.
and you can save where you're at and go live life and come back and pick it up where you are.
I can go eat and chill.
I can leave the house and come back and play again. I'm trying to figure out the first game. I think it might have been that Spider-Man game when I first got a memory card. I don't remember. But I knew once I got a memory card, I knew what a memory card was. I just never had one. But when I finally got one, it was life-changing.
Yeah. Just want to bring that up. Nostalgic times.
But yeah, it's double M. And as happy as we can be talking about the holiday season and Christmas stories and everything going on with that, we gotta bring the real on this show.
Mm.
We got to bring the real on this show. Excuse me. And I think everybody can agree when we talk about bringing this real on the show. Once again, we're at another year where COVID is running wild. COVID-19, the coronavirus, is running wild. Now you're talking about variant this, variant that, variant this, variant that. People got to get boosted this, boosted that, vaccine. A lot of stuff going on with COVID, and specifically COVID in sports right now is, and the top two sports playing right now is obviously the NBA and the NFL, and COVID is hitting these two leagues very, very bad. It started off I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like for both NBA and it started off like kind of smooth.
Bro, tame.
Started off
Tame.
smooth. Like they had their protocols and whatnot. But all of a sudden, within these last couple of weeks, NBA players, NFL players are dropping like flies because everybody's end up in protocols, health and safety protocols. Close contact, they test positive. Close contact, they test positive. Can't play. Got to miss 10 days. Got to miss a game. Got to miss 14 days. Got to show negative tests 4 times back to back. There's a lot going on with COVID right now in the sports world and in the world in general, but in the sports world, it's hitting really bad right now.
Yeah, every time I look at my phone, legit, every time if I'm at work or something like that, and I finally get a chance to glance at my phone, I'm getting a notification about someone in the safety health protocols every single time. And like you mentioned, Mike, season started off really smooth. You know,
Small, bro. No issues.
there will be a case here and there where it happened. Like you get the Aaron Rodgers case, or if we're talking Boston, Al Horford and Jalen Brown started off the season with poker, but it was very minor, and that's what we expected throughout the year. These past 2 weeks, wild, and it's just a reflection of what's happening in the world as well.
Yep.
In the world, COVID is ramping up heavy.
Yeah, it's COVID is everywhere right now. Different places doing different things in terms of mandates and whatnot. Um, but like you said, it's definitely a reflection of what's happening in the world. And the crazy thing is, it's not going away. It's not going away anytime soon. I mean, there's no real end game in sight in terms of this COVID situation. One thing I definitely want to highlight is the fact that the NFL sounds like they've now come out with something they're going to do differently. And that is because in terms of this COVID and people testing positive and positive cases, a lot of the reason why the positive cases just, NFL's continuously testing every day. They're testing, and the NFL and the NBA testing every day, all the time. So you test every day, all the time. These a bunch of players, the chances are COVID is going to pop up. But I think the NFL has now gone in a direction where they're no longer going to test vaccinated players and players who are asymptomatic, because at the end of the day, um, if you're pushing so hard for players to get vaccinated, because I mean, NFL, NBA, these leagues, they want every player to be vaccinated. Their goal, I mean, they're not necessarily forcing it upon you, but their goal is to have every player vaccinated in the league. That's what they want. At the same time, with that, you want players to be vaccinated. Why are you going to continue to test these vaccinated players? And I think that's something that the NFL is probably starting to realize. We got all these vaccinated players. Why are we going to continue to test vaccinated players? Because now, in a sense, we're just losing players left and right. And it's proven now that no matter if you vaccinated, unvaccinated, you can still test positive for COVID. You can still pass COVID to the next person. But again, with the vaccination, it doesn't hit you as hard. The symptoms or whatnot are
It's less
probably not.
severe.
There's not as severe if you're vaccinated. So if that's the case, and you got a team that's 100% vaccinated. Yeah, COVID will still get passed around. Will it be that severe? Probably not. Why are you why are you continuing to test the team and risk losing because you have to follow the rules of a player's positive? Like it's very weird situation and weird times right now. But I like the direction the NFL has gone with no longer testing vaccinated players. And I'm thinking or hoping that the NBA maybe follows suit with that because it somewhat makes sense to me. What's your thoughts and feelings?
I need to reread the protocol because I don't think they fully not gonna test vaccinated players. You still gotta test players. I don't know if it's going to be as frequent as as they have been doing, but at the end of the day, fully vaccinated, non-vaccinated, you still gotta get tested because it's bigger than the sport. You still
But
gotta go. You still gotta go home to a family. You still going to interact with other folks. So it's bigger than the sport in itself for anyone to say, okay, well, you're fully vaccinated. We're not going to test you anymore. You can go home to a parent who's not vaccinated. You can, you don't know how this thing could spread and who you can affect, and it's the reason why they pull players out of games for these situations. Now, what's been happening right now is out of hand. Like the only reason why sports is going on right now is because of commerce, money. There shouldn't be sports being played. It's spreading like wildfire. We're talking about sports where you're traveling every single day. If we said something like this last year, we're talking about how this is ridiculous that everything's going on right now. But because we've been living in it for another year now, we're starting to try to go through this new normal. But everything is still the same. If you travel, there's a higher risk for all of this to spread. And sports is going on as it been prior to 2020. Nothing's really has changed. You're traveling, you're going to hotels, they're letting you go out now if you're vaccinated and such. So it's tough. The only option really is to have a quick shutdown. But can you have a shutdown right now during Christmas time and New Year's where everyone's going to be around family and stuff? Are players going to abide by that? Probably not. These are grown folks. You can't really tell them what to do. It's tough. It's really hard. Now to say that we're not going to test players ever due to the fact that they're fully vaccinated, I don't think that's the right call because at the end of the day, people have families and friends that they got to go home to.
yeah, I mean, it's really tough because at the end of the day, the way like I said, this COVID it seems like it's not going anywhere. And I don't think the NFL wants to necessarily have players consistently having to be pulled out in the middle of the game, pulled out the day before the game. I don't think these leagues want that.
What I don't understand is some of these players don't have COVID and are not playing. It's because they were in close contact or they were around some. If I'm in close contact with you and you had COVID and I test negative, I should play. I should play.
Do they do that? Sorry, do they do that because the fear of it maybe could show up in your system a couple days
Yeah,
later, right?
all these players that is I can't speak for the NFL because once again, I'm not fully versed in the NFL's protocol yet. But in the NBA, like a lot of these players we're seeing in safety protocols not because they have COVID.
Just
It's
because of
due to
close
the fact
contact.
that you can't hear me?
Yeah, no, I'm saying I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
repeating what you're saying.
Yeah, it's due to the fact that it was close contact or they were in the same room of such and such, and that's what it is. And that's why they're not. Some players you see the reports, so and so has COVID, 14 days, da da da. Then some reports are some so and so was placed in safety and health protocols. Dude, Jason Richardson's been in and if he's had COVID this many times, God bless his soul,
Yeah, that's COVID in like the span of 2 months.
bro.
I don't know how do they solve this issue because again, like I was saying, I
There's
don't
no
think that
solution.
the NFL or NBA, I don't think they want to have players get pulled out of games left and right or in the middle of games or right before games. I don't know what the solution is. I mean,
It's not like we can go back to 1990 and say, okay, how did they handle this?
yeah, there's nothing to go off of,
Nothing. The only thing you can go off of is what the NBA did with the bubble.
and they're
That's
not
the
going back to that.
only thing you can go off of. That was the only successful thing that worked in all of sports was a bubble. And players don't want to go through that no more.
Nah, NBA is not going back to a bubble, and they said they're not shutting down.
They're not sure. Yeah, what Silver came out today and said that, right?
Yeah,
Commerce, bro.
I don't know what to do. Like, obviously, I guess you have to test players for everyone's safety, but like, you would think in a perfect world, if you're getting vaccinated, why must you get tested anymore? Because I get, you're getting the vaccination, so you're thinking in a sense you're good. You don't have to get tested anymore. You're fine. But obviously,
In a perfect world.
that raises another question about how great are these vaccinations? Because if you're getting vaccinated, you would think you don't have to get tested. But
But
then, yeah, like I said, now you dive into a whole other conversation of how much are we trusting these vaccinations?
the
Because
thing, it's not even about trusting a vaccination or not. The vaccination was supposed to stop a certain type of COVID, right? The shit mutated. If a virus mutates, it mutates.
yeah,
We
you
never
know,
seen something like this. The virus is mutating. So when it mutates, the vaccination that you just got don't mean shit no more.
that's crazy. That's crazy to me. The vaccination that people got doesn't mean anything anymore because now there's new variants, and the most that you could do now is just get a new booster of something else.
It's wild. Like, and now only what, a year in, we're seeing that soon boosters will be mandated. And it's so crazy to think that we've gotten here. And I get both sides. I understand why people are frustrated. It's frustrating what's going on. It's really frustrating. But if a virus mutates, what are you supposed to do? Whose fault is it?
Nobody has the answers. Nobody has the answers. But you know, another thing we could bring up, kind of keeping it related to the sports world is now you have a guy like Kyrie Irving who has been fighting or kind of going against. He hasn't been anti-vaccination. He's been anti, you know, this whole idea of if you don't get vaccinated, you basically lose your job. You lose your
Mhm.
livelihood, which is what some of these mandates are pushing right now. Basically, if you don't get vaccinated, you can't go here, you can't go there. You can essentially lose your job. Which would essentially, you're losing, you could go homeless. Like a lot of things can fall out from that. But here's a guy, Kyrie, who's been pushing against that, who now the NBA, well, not the NBA, the New Jersey, the Brooklyn Nets are welcoming back in. And it looks like he's literally going to be a
Crazy.
part-time player for them, which is
Cr-
wild. Something
After,
that they were so against at
yeah,
the start of the season. Now they're willing to welcome him back with open arms and let him be a part-time player.
Nets look stupid as hell.
Stupid. They look dumb that they went back
Look
on that.
look stupid as hell because you not only, it's not like you said no. You came out with a full on press letter on how Kyrie will not be joining this team until he is fully vaccinated. We are not accepting no part-time player. Adamant.
And they
Now,
completely went back on it.
now COVID's ramping up and stuff. Now Katie's probably putting pressure in your ear. And we had this conversation on this podcast about Katie's influence. And I said if Katie wants Kyrie to play, he's gonna play. And at first, things was probably sweet. It was like, all right, I respect it, understand Kyrie's doing his own thing. Cool. COVID's hitting, players are dropping. Katie's got to drop 50 to beat the Detroit Pistons. And it's like, all right. All right, like, what are we doing here with this Kyrie Irving situation? I'm talking to Kyrie. He's in shape. He's trying to play. Like, what's up? And Kyrie won't be, you hearing it right now. Kyrie won't be the only part-time player in the NBA. He
Oh,
won't,
he's opening the door.
because no, it's not even that he's opening the door. He won't be the only part-time player, because what New York's doing, we already see Boston's doing, right? Where they're forcing every other players to be fully vaccinated.
Hmm.
Soon everywhere is going to follow suit. Some play Celtics have players who are not fully vaccinated on the team. I don't
Sure
know who,
do.
but they have players who are not fully vaccinated.
I think every team has some players. Yeah.
So the only reason it hasn't been an issue like Kyrie is because they don't have that New York mandate.
Well, you can't be in the building if yeah.
Right. They don't have that mandate. That's why it hasn't been an issue. Like Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's not vaccinated, but he can play all the games because Washington doesn't have that mandate.
So wait, my question is, what happens? I mean, I don't keep up with the Washington. What happens when the Wizards face the Nets? He doesn't play.
I don't know. Has had to have happened by now, right? They've
I
had to have played each other.
I gotta look that up. I gotta look. So when Beal has faced the Brooklyn Nets, has he played? I'm gonna look it up right now.
Or if you're
Um,
an away player, do you have an exempt?
that doesn't make any sense because if your city
But
or whatever,
your city's mandating for their players. If you're an away player, you might have an exempt.
I gotta see if I can find if they've played Brooklyn. They've had to have played Brooklyn in Brooklyn.
Yeah, they're both Eastern Conference teams.
Let me see if I can find that because that would be interesting. Um, let's see. Let's see.
As I was saying, while Mike looks that up,
Oh yeah, he sure did play.
yeah, he play. I think when you're an away team or a visiting team, you can have an exempt
That's
of
crazy.
some sort. But
That's crazy.
if your arena is mandating their employees to be fully vaccinated, then that's what it is.
Second game of the freaking season. That's crazy. But Kyrie got to come
So
back and
so
he played.
Like Kyrie would be able to play against the Celtics
Wow, this is crazy.
at Boston.
That's crazy. Wow, wow, wow. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Nobody has the answers, and clearly this thing's not going away anytime soon. Um, but the NBA is going to continue pushing through it. The NFL is going to continue pushing through it. Will they readjust? Like I think the NFL has done some stuff with reconsidering their mandates and protocols. I think the NBA might go through that now. The only thing I know the NBA has done is now they've allowed teams to sign. They're letting teams sign players from
Listen,
anywhere right now, whatever they want.
listen. You playing in China, Turkey,
They'll pull you
Portugal,
from
G
anywhere
League.
just to join their team.
You can make it in the NBA. This is a perfect time to be in your prime, because there's a chance. Isaiah Thomas was a nice feel good story until you realize they didn't have a choice.
Yeah, you might stick around for a lot longer now because this is wild times. Like CJ Miles for the Celtics, I don't know where the hell he was at.
Bro, we couldn't have got Jamal Crawford then if we're gonna get CJ Miles?
Like CJ Miles, I know for a fact had to been chilling on his couch. I don't believe he was
Yeah,
playing anywhere.
no, CJ Miles wasn't playing anywhere.
And they signed that dude.
It's
And Jamal
giving life.
Crawford can't get a job. That's crazy.
It's giving life to Kemba Walker.
Yep. Kemba
We
Walker's got a chance. Like you said, Isaiah's got a chance. And then there's a lot of guys who's getting called up from the G League right now to get an opportunity to play.
seeing
Mac
Lance
McClung.
Stevenson.
Lance Stevenson got signed?
No, I'm seeing his name's getting circled around teams trying to sign him.
Mac McClung, the high school phenom, the dude's dunking on everybody.
Who's he play for?
I think
Lakers?
the Bulls just gave him a 10-day
Bulls?
contract.
And it's unfortunate because this is a fun NBA year. It's
Yeah,
been a fun, like,
been wide open.
I haven't watched much basketball as I usually do due to just like work and everything. And but I've been following what's been happening through just reading and highlights and such. It's a lot of parity in the league. I like where the league is headed. I like the young guys that are stepping up here. I mean, the only disappointment really is the Boston Celtics. They're the only ones not up to par with all of what's going on here. But the league is looking really good. It's going to set up for another interesting playoff series like we had last year. Last year's playoff series did not pan out like we thought it would, and I'm liking where that's going.
Yeah, it's definitely wide open. Definitely some new teams that, you know, no one paid a year ago. People weren't paying attention to. Now this year, they got some steam behind them. Like for example, the Chicago Bulls. A year ago, who the hell was thinking about the Bulls? Now the Bulls are a couple of games away from being one of the best teams in the whole Eastern Conference.
Three
Um,
three disappointing teams: Pelicans, Kings, Celtics.
Lakers.
I think people knew that it was going to take them a bit to get going.
Okay, here's my thing with the Celtics. Celtics, unfortunately, while even fully healthy, are they a super elite team? Hmm, maybe not. Not yet. Because I do think, while I'm a huge fan of Tatum and Brown, I believe overall the way those two though the team will be successful is if they have 3 stars. It needs to be Tatum, Brown, and somebody else. I don't know who that other person will be, but Tatum and Brown, they need one more person with them. But if we're just focusing on this season, I feel like a main reason why the Celtics have struggled a lot this season is because they just haven't had the chemistry and consistency hasn't been there. Since day one of the season, somebody, I don't know if they've played 10 games with the full roster. I don't know if they've
That's
had
right, bro.
10 games. I was gonna say 5, but maybe. I don't know if they've had 10 games with a full roster. Somebody is always in and out of the lineup. Brown has missed some games. Josh Richardson has missed a lot of games. Rob Williams has missed a lot of games. Uh Horford was been in and out of the lineup at times. Um Schroeder has missed some games here and there. Literally, Tatum and Smart are probably the 2 guys that maybe played in every game.
Smart missed some games as well
Okay, well,
early in
maybe
the
just
season.
Tatum. Tatum might be the only guy on the roster, and maybe Neesmith. and Tatum and Neesmith are probably the only guys, who have played in pretty much every game this season. Other than that, the majority of their role players, their starters, have been in and out of the lineup all season long. So, not saying that if healthy, Celtics are the best team in the East or the best team in the NBA. I'm not saying that, but the fact that they haven't had a consistent group of guys for a week of basketball has been a major issue. And it's not just the Celtics. That's probably hurting a lot of teams. But we're
Yeah.
talking about the Celtics here specifically. It's hurt. I think it's really, really hurt them.
All I that's just a violin playing. And I think the reason why I call Celtics disappointing, it's a accumulation of last year as well. Say what you want about the roster. You've had a large enough sample size with Tatum and Brown. You have a large enough sample size with those two players. It hasn't worked so far. I'm not saying trade him or anything like that. Saying the team hasn't worked with those two. It hasn't worked. New coach, new system, new whatever. Got rid of this, that, and the third. It has not worked. The team, I believe if Brown was still healthy throughout this whole time, this team would still be hovering around 500. I truly believe that. I really do, because the team hasn't been. They have not been good, fully healthy, or when they've had their 2 superstars. They haven't.
Which,
They haven't
which,
been a good team. They haven't beaten a good team.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, I know the most recent game against Philadelphia, there was only one game. It wasn't nothing major. It wasn't no game. But like the fact that Tatum and Brown couldn't carry that Celtics team to beat the Sixers, something about that game bothered me. I know in a sense, yeah, the Celtics were missing a lot of their guys. And I think for the most part, the Sixers had almost everybody. But something to me about the game was like, all right, Tatum and Brown, two all-star players, go out there and beat freaking Philadelphia.
Bro,
Like, you don't really need too many other people.
Philadelphia
Tatum
is
and
not a
Brown go out there and
juggernaut.
I'll say that again.
Philly's not a juggernaut.
The Philly's not a juggernaut. Like, it's just Joel Embiid. I know Tobias Harris had a solid game, and Seth Curry had a solid game. I'm like, yo, in my mind, it's Tatum and Brown versus Joel Embiid, and I'm taking two of them dudes versus one, and they couldn't go out and do it, which goes back to just my original point. I know, like I said, guys being in and out of the lineup and chemistry and consistency hasn't been there, but I think overall for this team to be this team with this era of Celtics basketball to be successful, Tatum and Brown need a third superstar next to them. Them two can't do it. They can't. I'm set in stone with that mindset. It's not
And know
Smart.
why? Know
It's
why
not Horford.
they don't have a killer instinct.
Hell no, they don't. And
They
they're
don't
both not great leaders.
they don't have a killer instinct. Like you just said, you watch that game frustrated. And I know why you watch it frustrated, because they're not killers. They're not gonna say, I'm going to take this game and dominate.
Like Embiid did.
Exactly. Just like Embiid did. Embiid said, look, I'm gonna drop 40 tonight. I'm just gonna go out here and drop 40 and win and will this team to win. That jumper he made in the final seconds of the game, like that's how superstars play. Killer instinct. JB don't have it, JT don't have it. Great players. Great players. I'm glad they're on our team. They're just not killers.
And I don't think they'll ever. That's not something you get over time. I just think they don't have that. I know they're young, 25 and 24, 24, 23, whatever the hell it is. I think if you have that instinct in you, that's something you show from day one. Look at Anthony Edwards from Minnesota Timberwolves. He got that in him, and he's younger than Tatum and Brown. But he got that in him at, what is he? Maybe he might be 20, 21 years old. But you can see he has that type of mindset in him, and it's only gonna grow as this is what, his second year in the league?
Second year.
It's only gonna grow. Tatum and
Great
Brown, we're
comparison.
talking fifth and fourth year in the league. Fifth and sixth year in the league?
Fifth and sixth, man.
Fifth and sixth year. And they don't have that killer instinct where, all right, F it, I'm gonna take over and I'm gonna go get a bucket. Like I always think about this. People want to say, oh, Tatum, is he top 10 in the league, top 15? And maybe, I don't know, it's just because I watch them too consistently to know. But like, it's easy to tell you, and I mean, I guess you could say Brown to the both, but it's easy to see, like, yo, when you think about top players in the league, Tatum, Brown, Tatum, I guess, especially because he's the big time scorer in Boston, he's just not like, he's just not it. You know what I mean? Like,
look, here's a comparison. I'm gonna ask you a question. Talent-wise, who's better, Jimmy Butler or Jason Tatum?
Tatum.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. If I want to win a game, who are you picking?
Oh, Butler.
Without a question. Because Butler's a killer.
Yeah.
He has that. He has that in him. Tatum's a way better. I want to say way better, but Tatum's a way more talented player than Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I agree.
You can even argue Jaylen Brown and Jimmy Butler should be around the same talent level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Butler 10 out of 10 times to win me a game. To have a team around him and win me a game, I'm picking Jimmy Butler.
I agree. Like all these times where Tatum just got named Player of the Week because, you know, he averaged 30-something this game. Like, Tatum averaged that. Tatum averaged that shit because they don't got nobody else to score on the team. He got to average 30. He has to average 30. But like, Tatum is not somebody where, or Brown, neither one of them, or somebody's like, yo, I need y'all to just effing go out there and take me the game. We talk about superstars in this league: Durant, Giannis, Curry, like superstars in this league that be like, yo, we know you could get buckets, like you're a good scorer, but like, yo, There's one thing to go out there and get buckets throughout the course of the game. There's another thing to go out there and put your stamp on the game and like, yo, I'm snatching this game. And at the end of the day, no matter what the score is or the final score is at the end of the fourth quarter or end of regulation, people gonna know we won this game because of me. Tatum and Brown don't give you that. They'll be the high scores at the end of the game. When you look at the high points, Tatum and Brown will be here because they're just
Yeah.
the two best players on the team who got to take all the shots. But they never take hold of a game, grab it, and be like, yeah, this is my game that I won. Am I saying they've never done that in their career?
No.
No, I'm not. But that's just not how they're built to do it on a consistent basis. Like I said, that game against Philly, it hurt me. I know it's not a big game. It don't mean nothing. It's a random game in December. But something about that game just don't sit right with me.
It's like they'll get buckets. These two guys get buckets,
They
but
will.
you don't feel the buckets.
Nah.
I gave you this comparison a couple years ago, Mike, and I don't know if you even remember. And I said I really hope, and I think he didn't, but I said I really hope Jason Tatum doesn't become a Joe Johnson. And what did I mean by that? Joe Johnson gets buckets. He was with the Nets, with Atlanta. He'll get you 25 plus. Easy. But you didn't feel those 25 plus. It was one of those, you look at the end of the game, box score, you're like, oh man, Joe Johnson had 28. He got it throughout the course of the 4 quarters. He got his 28 because he gets buckets. That's what he does. But you didn't feel it. Kobe made you feel them buckets. In the 4th quarter, you're like, oh boy, Kobe's going off. And it could only have been maybe 24 points in that game. But you felt that like, oh, he's taking over this game. He has this game under control. If you watch basketball, you know the difference of someone who gets points and someone who makes you feel that they're getting those points.
Yeah.
That controls the game.
Exactly.
Tatum and Brown, they don't control the game. There's times where Tatum, I'm watching the game like, damn, Tatum's not having a good game at all. And you look at Bosco, like, oh shoot, he got 28 points. You just didn't feel it though. He's not going to the line. He's not causing contact. He's
like them type of it's just like it's literally what you said. Because a casual fan be like, well, what are you talking about? Tatum's averaging 20 something. Casual fan will say that. But if you watch basketball and you understand it, you know that like when your star player is going out there going and getting buckets and like flexing on a crowd, making a like points that hurt. When they go get a bucket, it's like, yeah, that hurt. It's not the same. You don't feel that for Tatum and Brown. And I firmly believe, like I said, year 5 and 6, they'll never turn into that. They'll be great scorers, like Joe Johnson, great scorer throughout his career. But like, he never once tapped into that, like, yo, Joe Johnson, oh, we fear that man crazy. Tatum and Brown, they're still young, I guess, but like their trajectory isn't showing me that they'll turn into one of those type of lethal score. Like they'll get buckets.
I think Tatum can still. I think Tatum because he's shown flashes.
They both have shown flashes. Tatum obviously has more of a chance because he plays more than Brown.
And that's another issue with Brown that we can get to. But even like how Tatum was giving it to KD in the playoffs last year. And a reason why I was telling you last year, I still want the Celtics to go to the playoffs, even if they're going to get killed, because I want them to get that experience. I want Tatum to know how it feels to guard KD and go with KD in a playoff game. And you saw flashes of Tatum being the only player. Like, all right, I got to go out here and do whatever I can for this team to just try to get us a win. I always say this, a superstar got to get you one win. Tatum did that. I think Tatum can show he's very soft still. He's a soft player, but I think he can get there. Will he? Debatable, but I think he still can get there. Now you say you need a third star. My God, can we do what can we do to get Damian Lillard on this team? That's it. That's the answer. That's your killer. That's who we thought Kemba was gonna be. That's what we thought Kyrie Irving was gonna be. Can we get one more chance? I know basketball gods we it up. We have it up a couple times. We thought it was gonna be Kyrie, but we didn't know the development of the Jays. We thought it was gonna be Kemba. We just didn't know he had disintegrating knees. Can we just have one more chance? One more chance with a certified killer in Damian Lillard?
It would be nice, but it's not happening.
It's
Damian
not.
Lillard's not coming here. Like I said, the Celtics need
But
this.
the team's got to shake up. Robert Williams, you got to do something to get rid of Robert Williams and Marcus Smart. It's the only way something changes with this team.
Williams not going anywhere. Smart got to be the one.
Williams got to go somewhere, though, Mike.
They
That's the
just
only
signed him to
pieces
a.
you have. That's
They
the
should
only
sign.
pieces you have.
They signed that dude to a contract.
Then your team's not going. Your team's not going nowhere because Marcus Smart can't move the needle no more in the trade. No one's looking at Marcus Smart and it's like, man, we need
Actually,
that.
no. What I'm
team
gonna say,
all defense.
Schroeder's their best option right now as trade piece.
Get all of them. All of them gotta go.
They gotta bring a third guy. Like, I don't know who that third guy is going to be, but obviously you'd want that. Like you said, Damian Lillard, killer. Excuse me. You know, Damian Lillard got that killer instinct. Like, yeah, he got that in him. I don't know if it's gonna be Dame. I don't know who's gonna be. Some people saying Karl Anthony Towns. Some people saying Bradley Beal. I don't know who the third.
Sabonis something.
Tatum and Brown need a third superstar next to them. That's just what it boils down to. Whether that guy is built to be a leader or, like, not everybody's going to come in here and be Kevin Garnett. I get that. But at the end of the day, this team needs a third guy that can also go out and get them an automatic 20 points. Tatum and Brown going to get you the automatic 20. But after that, like, Smart's not consistent. Horford's not built like that. Jay Richardson isn't consistent with his scoring or consistent staying on the court. Schroeder's not consistent like that. This team needs a third guy. I don't know who it's going to be or when it's going to come, whether it be this season or trade deadline. I don't know. Schroeder got to go. I like Schroeder a lot, but he got to go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because he's not signing back here. Some teams going to throw money at him. He's not signing. So you got to move him.
Everybody got to go, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, obviously. I think anybody's up for me. I used to, you know me. I used to say, look, the error is Tatum, Brown, and Smart. You can't break that up. I'm done with that. I've given up on that. Tatum and Brown is the only safe ones. Anybody else is up for grabs.
And after that, like, look, I want JB and JT to be Celtics forever and the lore and all this stuff.
Hold on, Mark. Let's not get to that.
I want that to happen. I want it to happen. But look, if it ain't working, it ain't working. If you get a third star here and it don't work, you got to start figuring things and move on. You got to start moving on.
I agree.
Like we're not going to look like CJ and Dame.
I agree.
Just a middle of a, like. And eventually, something's got to change with this team. JT and JB are untouchable right now. Yes, I would love for that to keep them here. It's a beautiful story. We brought them up here. Like, yeah, keep. But you got this roster's got to go. This roster, this Marcus Smart thing, has got to go. Robert Williams got to go. Rob can't stay on the field. Like, he's got to court. Excuse me. He's got to go.
Definitely, I agree. The pieces around Tatum and Brown got to shift. They're untouchable, and like Brad Stevens and Udoka said, those are your pillars. So if you are saying those are your pillars, you got to shift the pieces that's around them. They semi-tried. They didn't go all in this year. They semi-started to try it this year. And again, I like the moves they made coming into the season. Were they championship moves? No, but I get that. It's not a simple fix. You know, it's not like 2007 where you could just make a trade for a Garnett and Garnett and Ray Allen. But I like the kind of moves they started making with this year. But as time goes on and you believe that those two your pillars, you got to start doing better things to put guys around them. Smart, unfortunately, is no longer somebody who is a huge difference maker, in my opinion. He's not. He's not a huge difference maker. You can find somebody who can give you what Marcus Smart does. The only thing that Marcus Smart holds here in Boston is that he's the longest tenured Celtic and he's been here forever, so he has that connection with the people and I'm
But
past
like
that.
Marcus Smart, when he's on this team, and this is bad because now I'm bashing the guy, but when he's on this team, he's the leader on the team, right? He's a vocal leader on this team. He goes away. JB, JT, you guys have no choice but to step up as leaders and be vocal. And
They
Smart's no longer here.
They can't. They're not built
But
like
maybe,
that.
but maybe they can't because they have a Marcus Smart there.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Smart needs to go so their voices become louder. I don't know. But from everything we've seen, Tatum and Brown are both they're both the same. They want to lead by example. They don't want to say nothing. They want their play to do the talking. And I get that sometimes, but you got to have a balance to that because that's not working.
That's
Your
cool
two
when
best
you're
players
yeah.
are the same personality. Nah.
That's cool when you're a third year player in the league and you have Kyrie Irving. All that's
Your
gone now.
veteran, your veteran
Yeah,
who's
bro.
supposed to be Al Horford, he's the same type of dude. He's just a couple years older.
Like we shouldn't even be naming Horford as a key piece. We should never be using his name.
But he's the veteran of the team. Because
And
he's a
JB,
veteran, he's a starter, he's one of the leaders.
can can he get healthy, bro?
I mean, he's on a solid stretch right now.
What stretch is
Since
that, Mike? 3 games?
I mean, it's been the most he's played consistently in
JB's
a long
always been
time.
on JB's always been on a solid stretch. He's a great player. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
It's starting to
they're
get
gonna.
he's starting to become injury prone.
Yeah, it's very close to that type of conversation with Brown for real. But at the end of the day, the only way you'll truly know what this, because I mean, there's still a lot of season left. And do I feel like this team is about to be a championship contending team? No. But only way you'll really see what you have with this team is if you can get at least two, 3 weeks of everybody healthy. Nobody missing time because of protocols. Nobody missing time for some rinky dink random my neck is sore type of injury. But I don't think that'll ever happen with the Celtics because it's always something. Like maybe it's an NBA thing, but obviously I pay attention to the
Yeah.
Celtics mostly. But they're always sitting some dude. A dude is always sitting for something. Only Tatum has played like Tatum's played every game this year,
Iron Man.
and I don't understand why. Team full of 13, 14 guys. Why is Tatum the only guy that can play every single game? What's wrong with everybody else? What's wrong with everybody else? Why is it just Tatum? I'm starting to think him going to the bench and riding that bike on the side really does something. That's helping him out. It's something, bro. Tatum's the only guy that plays every single game.
Oh my
Why is
god.
that? I love it. It's great for Tatum. Like you said, Iron Man, it's wonderful. But why is it just Tatum that can only play every single game?
There's some players like that, man.
That's
Listen, man,
Celtics.
let's switch this up. Let's switch this up. You know,
Yeah.
we gotta get back into the holiday spirits. This Celtics talk can get pressing. I wasn't even trying to get to Celtics talk like that. I was just trying to talk about some disappointing teams in the league and stuff. And Mike said, nah, let's tackle this. But we'll see how the Celtics do moving forward. It's a tough December, very tough December. All
Very
exciting
tough.
matches. Moving on, Mike, you mentioned it earlier about one of your holiday Christmas routines is to watch Christmas movies and get that nostalgic feeling. What movie? I know what movie it is, but tell the peoples what movie it is.
So, couple movies. One movie that I always have to watch that they they show for 24 hours every year since as long as I can remember on TNT and TBS. For 24 hours straight, they show A Christmas Story. For those of you that don't know Christmas stories, story of a little boy named Ralphie. He want to get a little BB gun for Christmas. So the whole movie is about him doing what he can to convince Santa to get him a BB gun for Christmas. He wants it so bad, and it's a great little. It's nothing crazy. It's just an old movie, and it's just funny story, little funny things. I don't know, but they show for 24 hours from like 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve to 8 p.m. on Christmas Day. And I definitely, as years ago, I've definitely watched it like back to back sometimes because it's just funny. It's just a stupid little Christmas story. But aside from that, every Christmas Day, I always have to watch Home Alone 1 and 2. Home Alone 1 and then Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. I think for me, those are my top two Christmas movies of all time. As long as I can remember now, I've started that tradition. I don't know when I don't remember when I started it, but I definitely started a tradition where I watch it. It's a tradition long enough where I was watching them on VHS. I had them on
Yeah.
VHS and I popped them in my VCR, laid in my bed, and watched them. But obviously now we moved on to streaming services, or you could find them online, or whatever the case may be. So I don't rely on the VHSs anymore. Real old school. Um, they're on streaming services online somewhere. But Home Alone 1 and 2, Lost in New York, are my favorite Christmas movies. I know they've made about 3 or 4 another Home Alone movies. I think one just dropped this year. Not a chance I'll ever watch those ever,
Why not? Why not, bro?
bro. No, 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 no.
Why?
And I know in this most recent one they're showing now they brought back some of the old characters and like
Watch
new
it.
roles. No, I would never watch another Home Alone. I maybe watched the third one just to see, but I watched that third one and I was so disappointed. There's about 5 Home Alones out. I'm good. Home Alone 1 and 2, and that's it for me.
That's I watched Home Alone so much because I also had that movie on VHS. And when I was a kid, that's all I do is in the morning woke up, just pop in a VHS tape and Home Alone. Man, by the time I was 6, 7, I probably could have recited every word of that movie. So I don't even watch it as much anymore because I was just so enamored by Home Alone when I was a kid. Like legit used to watch that movie every single day. Two's really good. Home
Two's
Alone
the
2,
best one.
people don't talk about two a lot. Two was really, really good. I really enjoy watching Home Alone 2. Couple Christmas movies I really like. I love Grinch. I love Grinch. I love the story. Grinch Stole Christmas. Big fan of Grinch. Elf is very funny. I like Elf with Will Ferrell. What else? The Polar Express. I like Polar Express. That was a really cool movie
That's a
when
good
it came
movie.
out. That was really cool. I haven't watched that in a while. I might want to rewatch the Polar Express. I really enjoyed that.
I
I was never a
remember
fan of Santa Claus 1, 2, 3 with what's his name?
Tim Allen.
Martin with Tim Allen. Yeah, I was never a big fan of those
Yeah, I didn't
movies.
get into those.
Um, I like Charlie Brown.
Hmm.
When it's on, I'd watch it. And that's it. I'm trying to think if Tyler Perry did any Christmas movies that I liked.
There's no Medea stole Christmas something.
And that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to think about. Best Man Holiday. What's that movie Chris Brown was in?
You know what? I've never seen This Christmas fully through.
This Christmas. There it is.
I've
This
never
Christmas is a good
seen
movie.
that movie from start to finish.
Really, it's a good movie. This Christmas is a
I've
good
always
movie.
heard it's a great movie, but I've never seen it from start to finish.
Good movie.
One day, one
Um,
day.
Probably another movie if it's on around this time of the year. I definitely watch it. But yeah, man, Elf, Grinch, big fan of Grinch. I love that movie.
The live
Um,
action Grinch with Jim Carrey.
both, both. I like Jim Carrey's version and the new cartoon one that they dropped a couple years back. I like that one as well. But the Jim Carrey one, fantastic.
Okay, okay.
You not a fan of Grinch?
I mean, I kind of get the story, but it's never something that caught on for me. Like the Jim Carrey, I thought the Jim Carrey version was very good.
Jim Carrey's good. I like that.
Um, but I've seen that maybe once or twice. Like, I remember a little bit with the little girl with the weird hairdo.
The story I like, a Christmas story I like, is Ebenezer Scrooge by Humbug.
Yeah,
You,
I'm
you
not
know,
even familiar with that.
you don't know the story. He hates Christmas. Scrooge hates Christmas, and he goes to sleep, and the ghost of Christmas past comes and gets him and shows him all the mean things that he did in his life.
Oh, wasn't there a Rugrats episode like that
Yeah, there was a Rugrats episode like
with
that.
Chucky? They took Chucky around to show him.
Yeah, there was.
Okay, that's where that comes from.
Scrooge.
Oh, okay. Yes, then I maybe seen it
That's a
before.
that's a great Christmas story. They made
I
movies, shows, all about that stuff.
then I've definitely maybe seen that before because that's where that comes from.
Dude said Rugrats. What a memory.
But yeah, man, this Christmas I'll definitely get a chance to watch A Christmas Story a couple times, and I'm definitely gonna find a time to watch Home Alone 1 and 2 for sure. That's not even a question. And typical spend time with my family. A lot of sports gonna be on Christmas because there's basketball and football
And
this
football.
Christmas, so that's a little different. So that's good food, good talk, conversations, chilling with the family, and watching some sports. So I look forward to that.
And I think let me go through the NBA schedule. I feel like when I looked at the NBA Christmas games, I'm like, oh, they hit. Like every game makes sense. Every game is good. Let me
I don't know
see
the
here.
schedule.
Knicks versus Hawks. That's the playoff rematch. The Hawks aren't good this year no more. You got
Yeah, they
Bucks versus Celtics. That's always a good matchup. Suns versus Warriors. Great matchup. Lakers versus Nets. Jazz versus Mavericks.
not a bad schedule at all.
Not a bad one.
And I don't know the NFL games, but I think there's
No, I
what,
don't
two
know.
games.
It's two.
Either way, I'll be watching them all. Sports on Christmas. Who can usually used to getting just basketball. Now you're getting basketball and football. That's great.
Decent games. Browns versus Packers. Definitely won't be watching that one, but someone let me know how that is. And Colts versus Cardinals. That has my attention.
Yeah, has some fantasy implications there for me, so I gotta pay attention for sure. But hey, man, it's the holiday season. Whatever, no matter what you celebrate, it's always a good time to be around family, friends, and loved ones for sure.
Yeah, man. Double M. Episode 98.
98 episodes. We two more away, one more away from the big 100. Wow, we
So
right there.
definitely follow us on our social medias. You see it down under. You see it right here. Follow us on our social medias to be on the lookout for the plans for season 3, season 4 coming up. It's an exciting time. It's a transitional time. But, as we were talking here, we want to make sure we hope everyone here is safe. Um, you know, this Omarion variant, Omicron variant, whatever it is real. We just hope that everyone stays safe, healthy for the holidays. And we look forward to having you guys on more and more and more episodes coming soon.
Most definitely. Double M still to the moon, no matter what.
Double M to the moon. That is Mr. Mike Nice. It's DJ Mees. We'll see you guys again very soon. Happy holidays. We out.